Oh, hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing, rating, and giving facts on The Predator. The Predator came out in 2018. I was in Korea when that came out. Me and all my battle buddies saw it. It was really, really cool. We really thoroughly enjoyed it. But this was made by produced and written by Shane Black, who, as you know, from a previous video that I did on Predator, he played Hawkins in the original 1987 Predator. So when I found out that Shane Black was going to do The Predator, I'm like, that's really cool. You know, someone that was actually in the film and got to experience it firsthand is going to make a true sequel to the Predator franchise. And you know, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. A lot of people had problems with it, mainly because of the CGI. But, you know, you can't just hate a movie right away with some freaking special effects and stuff, because there are some bullshit reasons on why, in the third act, the last like 20, 30 minutes, why the CGI is so bad. That and the blood too, why the blood is kind of bad, because in other countries, you can't have a lot of blood in movies and stuff. You can't have hard swear words and shit, so they would make blood CGI, crappy kind of CGI, so they can easily edit it out and release it in the other countries. That and like they would blur out middle fingers and like change swear words to other words. You know, kind of like if you were watching a rated R movie on regular TV. But Shane Black was asked by Fox to make this movie PG-13, and he said no. He put on Twitter, Fox asked me to make this PG-13. I told them PG-13 is for pussies. Spines bleed. And yeah, spines fucking bleed in this movie. I fucking tell you what. Damn shit. But, you know, the cast is freaking great. Like, it's stacked. I have to pull out my iPad with how stacked this is. Like, Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Sterling Brown, Thomas Jane. Like, it's crazy. And also, when I mentioned about the third act, why the CGI is bad, the whole night scene was redone. It was reshot. The original cut, which they called a night cut because it was so dark, when they showed it for the pre-screening, executives did not like it, and they demanded to reshoot the entire third act. So they had to do everything all over again, but they weren't given any extra time. So they had to rush, and that's why in the whole third act, it seems kind of like, what? You know, like the continuity's off and everything, but I don't give a fuck. But yeah, like the original, it was supposed to show like the fugitive predator joins up with the humans, and they go to his ship and they awaken his predator brethren in cryo sleep, and then they fight against the super pred or the enhanced pred, and then the enhanced pred calls more of his enhanced preds, and then the humans and predator join up with the army and stuff. And just so you know, I'm not talking bullshit, that the predator joins the humans and the predators join the humans and the army. A while ago, when this movie was first being filmed, I think about 2-3 years ago, Shane Black put a picture out on Twitter, and it showed the Predator on a tank with 2 other soldiers. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be lit! And that was never in there. Actually, in the trailer, there are a lot of things in the trailer that were ultimately cut from what we have on, what we got in the theaters and what we got on Blu-ray and 4K. Which sucks. I wish they could have just kept it together and make a director's cut. Maybe they will at some point to like do a promotion for a sequel. But I don't know. But I really enjoy this movie, and I know you will too. So let's get on with this fucking thrill ride, shall we? The Predator opens up in space as one ship is attacking another ship trying to flee. The ship opens up a wormhole and arrives on Earth. As the ship makes its way down to Earth, the Predator that is flying the ship takes a device from the main console, gets inside of an escape pod, and jettisons off the ship before it crashes down to Earth. So this is where people already started to not like the film, like, you know, real sticklers. Because once again, you know, Predator's supposed to like, because to stay true to the original Predator, there's gotta be mystery, mystique, and stuff like that. Dude, no one gives a fuck about that no more. At least I don't. I already know what the Predator is. All the mystique was used inside the first one. Why would you make another one and try to make it all mystery and bullshit? You don't. Jeez, they're all like, oh, look, it's instant action and we see Predator technology and they're flying and shooting it. So what, dude? Enjoy the movie. God, Shane Black is a fucking genius. Yeah, a lot of people had a problem with this movie, and there's actually given bad ratings, and the first thing said is because of that. Like, no, it's good. So I mean, what do you think? You think it's good? I think it's good. Let's continue on with the movie, shall we? Ranger Sniper Quinn McKenna witnesses the pod crash down to Earth. Upon investigating the crash site, McKenna comes across alien tech, which he decides to take with him because no one will believe him. They are soon attacked by the Predator, killing his team. As the Predator comes for him, the gauntlet of the Predators he's wearing activates a self-defense and renders the Predator unconscious. With the Predator unconscious, McKenna makes a run for it. The gauntlet he is wearing shoots out a mysterious small sphere. He goes to Mexico and tells a bartender to mail everything in the pack, but not the pack, and then swallows the sphere. Okay, some facts about this entire scene. So a lot of people had a problem with why the gauntlet jettisoned the sphere that can render whoever holds the sphere, make him cloak. Well, that was later on explained that the armor is it's smart. It's like smart armor. It knows what its wearer needs, which is why it defended McKenna against the Pred with the little ninja star thing. And it gave him the sphere to be able to cloak because the gauntlet itself cannot cloak. That is on the rest of the Predator's gear. Another problem that people had with this film is that when the Predator got in the escape pod, he had all of his armor on, including his mask. Now, why, when it crashed, he lost his mask and a whole gauntlet came off of his arm, but he has the rest of his armor, and then the Predator ended up somewhere fucking else. That's continuity error. Like I said before, this movie had to go through major reshoots because the executives were not happy with it, which is stupid. Just let Shane Black do his vision. Geez, maybe it would have made more money. No, I mean, that doesn't help with people going to see it. But still, yeah, the continuity errors, people are already having problems and asking questions, and you don't want that when you're making a movie. Questions later on in the movie, okay. Questions right in the beginning, no bueno. But let's get on with the rest of the film, shall we? McKenna is then captured by the military and put on a bus where he meets a bunch of people dubbed the Loonies, including Nebraska, Coyle, Lynch, Nettles, and Baxley. He tells them that he's there because he met an alien. So, a little facts about the cast. The guy that plays McKinnon was originally supposed to be Benicio del Toro, which would have been freaking epic. But because of conflicting schedules with other movies, he was not able to attend. I would have said, fuck those other movies and done this. Well, odds are whatever other movie he did. I think it was probably Sicario. Probably did better. It really did. But also, Baxley, the guy that you meet at the end, he has Tourette's because Shane Black has Tourette's. And his character in Predator had Tourette's. It's never said that, but you could tell because just his actions and how he says words twice, and I mean his jokes. I mean, geez, you got a big pussy. Geez, you got a big pussy. I mean, you know, and he actually incorporates that. Like he says, his character actually says pussy a lot in this film, and you'll see that. So let's get on with the movie. Meanwhile, the CIA enlists the help of Dr. Casey Brackett, who is a specialist in biology. They take her to Project Stargazer, where she is greeted by Professor Keyes. Professor Keyes shows her Predator tech that they have acquired throughout the years and shows her the Predator itself. Okay, so I love this sequence. It hypes me up because it pays homage to Predator 1, Predator 2, and AVP. So also, let's start off with the fact that Professor Keyes is the son of Peter Keyes, or Professor Keyes is Jacob Keyes, and he's the son of Peter Keyes from Predator 2. And he looks like Gary Busey because he's actually Jacob Busey, his real son in real life, which I thought was a awesome, amazing touch. Perfect freaking touch. So good. Also, the artifacts. If you notice the first set of artifacts, it shows the spear that Alexa Woods used that the Predator made for an AVP. It shows the combi stick from Predator 2. And in the other case, it shows the original the helmet from the original Predator in 1987, and it shows his plasma caster. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how did they get the helmet and the plasma caster when the Predator blew up and destroyed everything? But remember, he took off the helmet and the plasma caster in water and then chased Arnold through the woods where he ultimately died and then blew up. And it only destroys, well, in the book, 200 acres of rainforest, and then in the movie, 300 city blocks. But regardless, it probably ran pretty far. It probably chased him pretty fucking far, because if you notice, he was walking after him the whole time while Schwarzenegger was running. But the only thing that in the artifacts that or the tech that I don't understand is how do they have a mask that looks exactly like the mask that he has in the beginning of the movie. Kind of wish that was explained, but oh well. And then when she meets the Predator and she says, "You're one beautiful motherfucker," I love how they changed it instead of ugly to beautiful, because it still pays homage to the first one and the second one, and it's just a classic line, and they tweaked it a little bit because of her love for that kind of shit. So I love that whole sequence. That pumped me up so fucking much. You think it's cool? I think it's cool. Let's get on with the movie. Elsewhere, the package that McKenna had sent arrives at his house, and his son Rory opens it up and mistakenly activates the technology, mistakenly sending a signal that the rogue predator's assailant can track. As the rogue predator's assailant approaches, alarms raise at the facility, and the predator awakens and attempts an escape, eliminating anyone in his way. The predator then dons one of the masks to link up with his own and figure out where his tech is. So here's some things with this whole sequence that people had problems with and why it got bad reviews and why it got somewhat crap ratings on like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, because people are so freaking picky. So how everything pops off because Rory activates the technology and uses it. They're like, oh, how can a kid do it? Yeah, sure, he's autistic. You know, autistic people are usually really good at puzzles and figuring stuff out, like with numbers, like Rain Man, right? But reading a whole different Predator language, I mean, I really don't care. If that's what they want to do with the film, then okay, it gets the story moving. Also, they're like, oh, how does the Predator know how to use our guns? What do you mean, bro? He's an advanced race. It's a trigger. It doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist, which I'm pretty sure they're smarter than rocket scientists anyways. Dude, see, that's why I hate some people. They just nitpick at things, and they'll just like, oh, well, this movie is bad because of this. No, dude, just leave it alone. It's not bad. It's not bad writing. At least it's not bad writing to me. I don't think it is. I thought it was badass that he killed that CIA agent and took that freaking gun and killed more CIA agents. It's freaking lit, bro. Damn. Also, one thing that I kind of took, like, why didn't he do this, is if he takes that artifact, why didn't he take the combi stick? I mean, in Predator 2, he killed a lot of shit with that combi stick. It probably would come in handy. Oh, well. But, what do you think about everything that everybody bitched about? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments. Let's go out the movie. Upon the rogue Predator's escape, the loonies on the bus see that McKenna was not lying about an alien. They then take over the bus and attempt to escape. Upon escape, McKenna suggests that they kill the alien. They try to do so, but fail epically. Upon failing, they get to the choppers, grab the doctor, and get the hell out of there. So little facts about this sequence. So when Nebraska says get to the choppers, obviously that's a nod to Schwarzenegger saying get to the chopper in the first one. Well, Shane Black wanted to make that nod, but not the same way, because then just it'd be an eye roll type thing. You're like, oh, of course, I knew I was expecting that. Get to the chopper whenever the helicopter comes. So instead, he incorporated bikes, choppers. And then people, which is cool, but then people were like, which they also bitched about, which one of my friends actually bitched about. He's like, okay, they're at a military facility. What the hell are black Harleys doing at a military facility? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's still cool. I don't care. They got fucking bikes. So whatever. What do you think? You think it's cool? I think it's cool. Let me know in the comments if you think it's cool. Let's get on with the movie. McKenna tells the group that they have to go find his son because he has the Predator tech that the rogue Predator is looking for. McKenna finds his son, but the Predator is soon on their tail. Making a quick escape and realizing they can't beat him, they decide to give his tech back. The Predator finds McKenna. Upon receiving the tech back, the rogue Predator is attacked by something larger and far more dangerous, an upgraded Predator. Okay, so with this whole sequence, in the original script it was much different, but it's in the novelization. When the Predator jumps down on the bus, he doesn't grab nettles. He just jumps down, they're like, oh shit, and then they disarm themselves. Instead of shooting a car, he shoots out a street light. I think shooting out the car is a lot more intimidating. Regardless, it's an energy weapon, it'd still be intimidating. But when the Pred, the upgraded Pred fights the rogue Predator, you see the whole thing on screen, right? But in the novelization and everything, instead of grabbing him through a window and throwing him out of the school, the Super Pred or the upgraded Pred is already in the school, and he punches through a wall, pulls him through the wall, and then the fight happens and you don't see it. they escape, blah, blah, blah. But could you imagine if you didn't see the fight? I mean, I'd be like, well, what the fuck? Yeah, you don't see the fight, but you see the outcome of the fight in the book, or how it was supposed to be. So that would have been bad. I would have kind of poopy about that. What do you think? Let's get on with the show. After escaping, the CIA catches up quickly. Traeger tells Brackett what the two different Preds are and why they're here. And then he realizes that McKenna's son knows exactly where the ship is. He takes McKenna's son and flees in a chopper. The rest of the group break free of their captors, get the chopper of their own, and follow behind. Okay, so some facts. This exactly here, actually even before this sequence, when night falls, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this entire thing is different. The original third act was originally supposed to be something else, but then the pre-screenings with the executives, they didn't like it and then wanted reshoots, which that's like a whole hour of freaking reshoots, about an hour, and who knows how long the movie was originally supposed to be. But besides that, a lot of people had a problem with this scene because Traeger is telling Brackett about the Predators and everything as if he really knows them. And it doesn't make any sense, like, how he knows exactly what's going on, because, I mean, there's no inclination in the movie that he's super intelligent or whatever, that he gets any information. Literally throughout the movie, he just makes assumptions, and that's actually what happens in the story, and that's what's actually going on. So people are like, what the hell? Like, you know, but, yeah, I mean, he kind of gives the story away as it goes, so you're like, what the fuck? But I didn't really give a damn. People had a problem with it. That's another reason why they gave it a bad rating. What do you think? Did you have a problem with it? Let's get on with the movie. Traeger takes Rory to the ship because he's the only one that can open it. Upon entering the ship, McKenna arrives and rescues his son, not before the upgraded Predator comes and makes quick work of the CIA agents. The upgraded Pred then enters the ship and accesses the console to communicate and tell them that they are not allowed to have the vessel. He's there to destroy it, and he wants them to run so he can hunt them, and that he shall take McKenna as his prize. After this, he sets a self-destruct on the ship. So some facts about the upgraded Predator and this whole scene. So originally, in the novelization, the loonies don't attack first, and then the upgraded Pred attacks. In the loonies, the upgraded Pred gets there first, kills everybody, well, all the soldiers, goes into the ship. Then the loonies show up, and then they hide underneath the exit ramp of the ship instead of far back, so they can set an ambush. But also, the upgraded Pred, if you notice, pretty much just has like a loincloth on, and then he has his gauntlets, and then that's it. And he has like an exoskeleton thing that comes out, and like bullets don't penetrate him. In the novelization, that's not a thing. He doesn't have some exoskeleton that activates and he's bulletproof. He just has traditional Predator armor, and he's just really fast and strong and a complete badass, and has like the plasma caster cannon and all that stuff. I don't know why they changed it for the movie. I think it's kind of cool in the movie because it shows like how they're trying to hybridize and become better hunters. So I'm glad they kind of changed that. Although, I mean, it's kind of overkill because he's friggin' bulletproof, but whatever. What do you think? Let's get on with the movie. Everyone makes a run for it through the forest as the ship explodes. The upgraded Pred is soon on their tail and starts hunting them one by one. In an attempt to sacrifice himself, McKenna gives himself to the upgraded Pred. The upgraded Pred picks him up and tosses him aside. The group then realizes that it was his son that he wanted. The upgraded Pred takes his son to the spaceship and locks him in a compartment to take it back to his home planet as his prize. McKenna and the rest of the group leap on top of the spaceship in an attempt to bring it down so McKenna can save his son, but he has to go through the upgrade Pred first. Woo! Love that shit. Adrenaline rush! Rush! Shane Black is a genius. Anyways, I feel like Shane Black did a really good job on paying tribute to the Predator franchise. And he actually said that this movie takes place before Predator 2, or after Predator 2 and before Predators, even though Predators came out in 2010. Because he wanted it to somehow incorporate that if he planned on doing later sequels, which would have been really cool to see. Also, when they found out this movie was being made, or it was announced, Adrian Brody, who played Royce in Predators, wanted to make an appearance, but he couldn't find a way to include him, which would have been cool to show how it happens before Predators, you know, saying that like he's in the military and shit like that. You know, that would have been really cool. But anyways, if you haven't seen the movie, you probably don't know how it ends. If you have seen the movie, you know how it ends. So either way, watch it, come back here, drop in the comments what you liked about it, didn't like about it, and your favorite scene. Those of you that have seen it, do the same. Drop what you like about it, haven't or don't like about it, and your favorite scene. Also, drop in the comments what you liked about this whole review. If you liked the information I gave you, if I chose the scenes really well, and if you found the facts fascinating, which I find all of them fascinating pretty much. Now, this movie got tons of criticism, and I don't really care what average people say. I'm a huge Predator fanboy, but I also have to think about the rating for you guys. So I'm going to give The Predator an 8.5 out of 10. And I say 8.5 because it's better than Predators, and I gave Predators an 8. At least I think it's better than Predators. That's just me. But a lot of people disagree. But the plot is good, the action is good, the gore is good, and the subtle comedy just fits perfectly. Like, you actually chuckle at it. It's put in Keegan-Michael Key, and it was a fantastic choice. But thank you for sticking with me through this. If you liked this, please give it a like, share amongst your friends. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm at 100 subscribers, I think, now, and it's just, I'm so proud and so blessed to have my channel grow so quickly. My goal is 1,000, so I could really appreciate the support to get there. And I'm finally done with the Predator franchise. I'm going to move on to some movies that people requested to me for me to review. If you have movies that you would want to see me do and look up facts and show you like more to understand that movie, please drop that in the comments as well, and I shall put that in the queue of everybody else's requests. So until my next video, see you then.